So this video is going to be about me and Jayla's breakup. It was ugly. So let's just get into it. I wrote it all down. I'm looking at my tablet so I don't miss anything. But basically, something that Jayla and I was struggling with in our relationship was her insecurities. And then for me, it was my low libido. So she wanted sex multiple times a day, and I couldn't keep up. I'm sorry. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I couldn't keep up. So something I suggested after like 7 months of having this issue was to try poly. Poly relationship. So basically look for a third that we both could date together. We tried that. Once again, her insecurities and jealousy got the best of her. God, this thing. Okay, there we go. Okay. So her insecurities and jealousies got the best of her. So then we decided, instead of poly, let's try to do an open relationship and date separately. She was okay with that. I was okay with it. So I think we started that January, February, March, April, May. We started that probably late April, early May, doing all of this, open and poly. So we decided to try to just do open instead of poly, date separately. She was okay with that. She was meeting people and going out on dates, and everything was cool. She was telling me about these people she was meeting. It was all good. But then the second I mentioned wanting to meet someone and wanting to go on a date with someone, she would throw emotional manipulation in my face and play the victim, crying big tears, saying things like, why do I need another partner, that I never loved her, that I was just using her, and that this was my plan all along, blah, blah, blah. So keep in mind, I never went on any dates while she was dating and everything. I never went on any dates. I would only mention being ready to start shopping around, and she would throw crazy tantrums, all while she had a whole boyfriend and hooking up with random people. So I told her, if you can't handle me doing the things that you're doing, such as going on dates and having another girlfriend, then we can't do an open relationship. I told her that you don't get to have a relationship with 3 people and then get mad when I'm ready to start putting myself out there to find a second girlfriend. She didn't like that, so she said, let's go back to monogamy and have rules. We agreed to go back to monogamy, and the rules we set were no sex with other people, no flirting, the basics. Just the stuff like it would be for a regular relationship, because we're back to monogamy. So we set those rules. Those rules were clear. She very clearly understood those rules. I agreed to the rules. She agreed to the rules. She understood those rules very clearly. Fast forward, she ends up breaking those rules, and when I confronted her about it, she again cries big tears. And since I know her family life wasn't the best, according to all of the times she called me crying and complaining about the way her family treats her, I decided to tell her that I'm willing to go back to being open in order to keep the peace, so that she doesn't have to go back home to the family that treats her so bad. And like, again, no disrespect to Jayla's family, I'm just reiterating what she told me, and she told me that y'all treat her bad, and that's all I'm saying. How true that was, I don't know. So she cried, blah blah blah. We agreed to go back to open. So a few days later, she takes me out to breakfast, and at breakfast she's talking about, I don't want you dating other people. Once again, crying and throwing emotional manipulation in my face. I told Jayla, she's either going to be okay with me dating other people like she is, or she can break up with me. So she decides to break up with me. So I tell her we can still be roommates, friends, we can be cordial, but she will have to move into the other room or go back home with her family. Those are the only two options, because I've just been too nice and I'm tired of it. So the only two options were for her to move into the other room or go back home with her family. So after saying all that, I leave her at the restaurant. I take my food to go, and I'm back home laying in bed, relaxing, playing video games. We've been going back and forth, so at this point, I'm really just ready to be just friends, just roommates, keep it cordial. For whatever reason, she gets back to the house talking mad shit. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? You broke up with me. So she's talking mad shit, making all these threats, and I'm just like, what is your problem? She's taking my kindness for weakness, so now I'm pissed off, and I start throwing her shit out the room. I threw her shit out the room, made her pack her shit in garbage bags, and I made her leave. I told her I tried to be nice. She couldn't stop talking shit. She couldn't stop saying any and everything to get me to react, so I gave her a reaction and threw her shit out the room. Things were getting real heated. I could feel myself getting ready to hit her like we were chest to chest. She was throwing shit, I was throwing shit. It was getting ugly. But so far, neither one of us had hit each other. It was just a lot of yelling and a lot of throwing shit. So it was a lot of yelling, a lot of throwing shit. Neither one of us had hit each other yet. And I didn't want it to get to that point. So I'm thinking to myself, wait a damn minute. Why am I letting her get a reaction out of me? So I decided to shut down. I go stone cold, no reaction, no yelling, no nothing. I go stone cold, straight face, no reaction. I'm not speaking to her. I'm just letting her talk her shit, and I'm not giving her anything. And then I just sit back, watch her pack her bags, and play my video games. She's going back and forth. I'm just silent, and at this point, laying in bed, playing video games on my tablet. She's still talking shit, throwing stuff, and trying to provoke me. She said she wants me to hit her. Now, I feel myself getting ready to jump up and do exactly that. But I was like, Vivi, she's not worth it. You have too much to lose. So instead of hitting her, I decided to call the police to help keep the peace until her family is able to pick her up. Because she is unable to be mature and just get her shit and go. Instead of just getting her shit and going, because she's the one who wants to break up. So instead of taking her shit and leaving, she has to be petty, provoke me, and constantly just poking till I do something. And I have too much to lose. So if I were to do something, it would have been bad. So I was like, let me just call. And this was like 2 p.m. We fought all the way until when she left, from 2 to like 6:30 p.m. I can only imagine the worst that could have happened had the police not showed up to keep the peace. Because it was just hours and hours of just tension building up. Like, it could have got ugly. So I called the police to keep the peace, and until her family was able to pick her up. Like I said, I have a lot to lose. Jayla isn't worth it. Being with someone who constantly is pushing my boundaries and can't take accountability for her own actions, it just wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth it. So I just stayed silent, let the police keep her from like throwing shit and poking at me, and then they just stayed with her until her family came to pick her up. And I think that was like around 6:30. By the time 6:30 came around, her and all her shit was out of the house, and I went to work. And that was the end of that. I haven't talked to her since. I haven't reached out to her since. She keeps texting me, but I'm not even reading them. I'm not even responding them. I'm not responding to them. Just know that I'm okay. Jayla's okay. We went our separate ways, and that's that. And now I feel like I still like the idea of having a poly or open relationship. So when I'm ready to start dating again, I'll make sure the person I'm interested in does understand that about me, but also it's not a deal breaker. So like, I can also be monogamous. So if the person I'm interested in wants to be monogamy, I can do monogamy and give them my loyalty and everything. Like, I can do both. It's whatever the person I'm interested in needs. So when I'm ready to start dating again, poly or open is not off the table. Just because I had this one bad experience with Jayla doesn't mean poly is the problem or something like that. So threw Jayla shit out. I was cool. I was trying to be cordial with her, but she kept talking shit. She wasn't going to do nothing. So I showed her exactly what I was going to do and threw her shit out and made her leave. Her sister had to come pick her up. Jayla didn't think I was serious. Everything was a game to her. So she's out of my life, and it's for the better. I'm not losing anything by letting her go. It just sucks because I trusted her. I was genuine to her. I was loyal to her. I told her very vulnerable things about me that some people in my family don't even know. And so while we were breaking up, she just took all those vulnerable things that I told her and just threw them back in my face and just stabbed and stabbed and stabbed to try to hurt me as much as possible because she was hurting. So yeah, she failed to self-reflect or take any accountability. Everything bad that happens to her is everyone else's fault but her own. I gave her too many chances. I let her cross my boundaries too many times. So yeah, I'm okay. It just sucks truly caring for someone and they are too focused on just extracting as much as they can from you instead of actually building a genuine connection and community with the person. So I still love Jayla. I wish her the best. However, I will be doing all that from a distance. I don't have to let her back into my life. I don't have to communicate with her. I don't need closure. I don't need an apology. I just need to move on. So I can love her and wish her the best and move on all from a distance. And that is what I will be doing. So what happened between me and Jayla isn't my villain story. I'm not going to be all cold-hearted and stone cold to the next person I date because of this one bad experience. When I'm ready to start dating again, I'm still going to be genuine. I'm still going to be loyal. I'm still going to be kind, honest, truthful, and I'm still a proud U-Haul lesbian. Or you can say bisexual because it's like 90% lesbian, 10% heterosexual. It's really like, with women, it's like a woman can step on my neck and I'll be like, you do it so good though. And then a man, he could be a complete stranger trying to come over and flirt with me. And just from the simple fact that he's a man, I'll be like, what you got to say? So I definitely think that probably played a role into why I stayed with Jayla for so long, despite all the red flags. So like for me, I don't believe in getting your lick back. I don't believe in revenge. All I can do is continue to count my blessings and continue to offer genuineness and kindness and honesty to people, because I feel like miserable people like that are capable of destroying their own lives because of their own behavior and actions. And so there's no need for me to step in and try to make her life miserable because she's already capable of doing that herself based on her actions and immaturity level. So there's really nothing for me to do other than just continue to count my blessings and live my life. So there's no need for the extra drama. or for me to try to step in and manipulate things. Yeah, my life will work out the way it's supposed to. I'm just going to continue to focus on my blessings. As far as the YouTube channel, of course, I'm going to do some rebranding. Maybe videos, since I'm single now, videos will probably more towards makeup, dancing, shorts, educational things, stuff like that. And when I am ready to start dating again and meet someone, I'll do an update video about that. If they're interested in being in the channel with me, then I'm all for it. But for right now, I'm just going to focus on trying to rebrand. I don't plan on deleting any of the videos me and Jayla have together on this YouTube channel unless she comes to me telling me to remove them. Like I said, I don't regret anything. All I can do is wish her the best from a distance. So yes, I'm still a happy, proud U-Haul lesbian, and I feel like you can be a U-Haul lesbian and still be able to take things slow. I feel like I don't know how to explain it. You just have to experience it. Like when I establish a serious relationship with someone, the person has my full loyalty and trust. They have my full loyalty and trust, and they get a clean slate with me, and I'm ready to full send it. But I do take my time when it comes to having sex, meeting family, getting married, and having kids. I'm very cautious and intentional about those 4 things. But when it comes to everything else, I'm more like living together and stuff like that. I'm more relaxed, and I'm ready to just full send it because I know my intentions are good and I'm genuine. And as long as you live a life like that, then everything will work out for you in the end. So yeah. And I also think because even though I'm a U-Haul lesbian, I'm not the toxic U-Haul lesbian, because even though it might take a while, I am able to see when things aren't working and walk away. Like, I don't care how much time I've invested, how much energy I've invested. If it's not working, I can walk away. And it may take a while. Like, I feel like with Jayla, we dated for about 7, 8, 9 months. And I feel like I started to see red flags around month 5, 6. So it did take me a few more months to actually walk away after noticing. But I feel like I'm still not, I don't regret anything, because at the end of the day, I was genuine and my intentions were good. And I feel like as long as I continue to live that way and approach people that way, then I have nothing to be worried about. So that is an update. Thanks for watching this video with me, and listening. And yeah, we'll see what happens next. Bye.